Okay, Coach, it is always a celebration here in New Orleans, and we are just outside of the French Quarter at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints. Two clubs here, each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
Here we go.
First carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a Carolina first down on a gain of 16.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Open man is Samuel, complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? They'll run with Hunt on second down. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12. That opening drive rhythm continues right into play number 3.
Whatever they decided that they wanted to run before the game, it's working pretty well for them right now. Moving the ball downfield at a nice rate. And guess what? I think the chain crew might have to get a little oxygen over there. They have to keep moving downfield with first downs on each play.
Now the throw here complete on the right sideline. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
8 yards on the pickup brings up 2nd and 2.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Running with Hunt here out of the shotgun. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 11 yards and a Panther first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Let's go now. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you, sir. I got you, son.
They'll look to throw now on first down. His throw caught right around the 6. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. From 21 yards away. And the Panthers take it right down and score on the opening drive. Gano the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line.
Okay, ready? 59. Check pass.
Martinez on 1st and 10. He's got his man in the crossing route. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, You can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense, to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish, holding that to a minimal gain.
Now a first carry for Latavius Murray, and he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
They go back to Murray on first down. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Check. Crunch. Go. Under 10. 10. Check. Recon, 132 fight. Yes! Haywood.
2nd and 6. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Off play action. Martinez. Wide open receiver complete. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on. Check 37. Check 80 weapon. 80 weapon. Let's go.
They'll turn to Michelle as they go back to the ground. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Go.
To throw on 3rd down, Martinez. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Wilson for the field goal. A 57-yard attempt.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Set the tone. Let's go. Switch.
Second and 10. That's going to be caught by Samuel. 11 yards and a Panther first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. He'll look to throw, and he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. 13 yards, first down, Panthers.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want to go. Check it out, Reed. Look. Check 15. Hey.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt.
Check 24.
Tackle there going to Marshawn Lattimore.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6.
Just like that. Just like that.
They'll set up a throw. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Gerald McCoy is so slippery and elusive in the interior of the defense. I don't care who has the assignment to block him. It usually ends up having to take at least 2, and most of the time, that's not enough either. Witness that tackle for a loss.
They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA with a sack.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. They'll drop the throw. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. So they go with the empty set, and that's the risk you run right there. Nobody was there to protect.
Well, you know how most offenses have audibles, and they've changed plays when they see certain sets? A lot of defenses do the exact same thing. You go to an empty back set, they bring pressure, and boy, did it pay off in this case.
Ready,
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
59, Mike. Mike is 59. Mike to 59. On the army.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
A reminder coming up at halftime. We'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. Looking to throw. Martinez. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas. His second touchdown on the season. And the Saints have taken the lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
2nd and 5. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. It's a gain of 34.
First down, Carolina.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone. 51.
Now back to throw. Gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. They'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And now look at him go. Past the 20. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. 2nd and 4. Buying time. Touchdown, Saints. We saw so much of this last year at the college level, but there you go. His first rushing touchdown as an NFL quarterback.
And with the speed he has, we certainly know it won't be his last because that's something that aided him very well, as you mentioned, at the college level. It's something he's going to carry over, and they'll make it a big part of their offense.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room. Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. 2nd and 1. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. He'll drop to throw. He's going to look deep for more. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. Here's the Panthers punter now. Deontay Harris deep for New Orleans. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Harris now to return. So it's halftime here in New Orleans with the Saints out in front. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now Martinez looking to throw on 2nd down. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Brian Burns able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And instead, they want to throw it off play action. They'll roll him out right. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So good coverage there defensively, as it looks like they'll force a punt on this opening drive of the 3rd.
Well, let's coach them up a little bit from right here in the booth. That's exactly what they needed to do. They need to start stringing together some stops, turning the ball over back to their offense, and trying to get back into this game.
Yeah, a couple scores down, but they can eat it. On the return. And the Panthers will take over in terrific field position. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he completes it to Hunt. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now it's Hunt. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marcus Davenport picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
We got 3 down, 3 down. 47.
Back to throw. Oh, that one sailed a bit, but the catch is still made. They get 7 there, but it brings up fourth.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Ready.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
It's our time, guys. It's our time. Rush in. Rush in. Shoot. Gone. Walk. Sit. Check three. Ready, go.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Michelle. Showed a good move, but quickly corralled just beyond the 10-yard line. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Martinez now to throw on 3rd down. Escaping and he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Brian Burns getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for Carolina. And it's fielded at the 34. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Here we go. Pittsburgh. Check, 47.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Well, they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. To throw is Martinez. Going to throw again. Forced out to his left. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Yep. Motion. Showing it. Tight Leo.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Michelle. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10.
Yeah.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Panthers in possession of the football, but facing a deficit here as we get to the 4th and final quarter of play. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. That one is caught by Hunt. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 14 yards, good for a Panther first down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? They'll run on first down. It's Hunt. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. Second and 9 now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hunt. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is caught. He hits more. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. They'll look to throw here on first down. This will be caught inside the 10. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. A 5-yard touchdown as his guys are back within a single score. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Extra point try good by Gano. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like you had green on that play.
23 yards, the final tally. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Here's Murray running right. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. This defense really clamping down. Although they're losing the game still, this second half has been theirs.
And they're winning it. I almost equate it to being a boxer. And whenever you see a good fight, the guy who's on his toes and doing the punching, that's the guy who's winning. And that's the way they're going at it defensively now. Much more aggressive in their calls, much more aggressive in their pursuit.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
2-18. Chopper, chopper. Slam.
Here's Martinez operating from the gun. stepping up. He's going to keep it. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. On second down, Michel. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning.
Kill. Squeeze. Get in there. Orbit.
Martinez on third down. Steps away to his left. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Brian Burns in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
I got you, boy. Check.
They'll begin the drive with Hunt. And an alley to run. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Panther first down. He'll look to throw. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You have to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. And this is picked up by the Saints. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
So they come up on second down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. And it's Michel once again. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Again, it's Michel. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a first and goal.
Check.
Following the penalty, Michel. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
61. Matchbox. Light.
So this one a victory here for New Orleans. And it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So for the Saints, they at least get the win here to earn a split of their first 2 home games.